We're going to share some of our ideas in terms of the dream and our little bit of not even our story, because you guys have heard our story plenty of times, a lot of you, but what happened? Actually, I'm going to talk about somebody else's story. If you want, we can even play pick, and I'll just make up something, and I just point and I'll use somebody. But basically, that's how it happened for us. We went to a few of these meetings, and we went to a convention, and there was a lot of weird information that I was listening to. It was a lot of fluffy thing that I didn't know where to plug it in my mind. I was a computer programmer. I was too logical. I wanted to know the numbers. I want to know what concentration of SAA was X, Y, and Z, and what was the chemical proportion for LOC. And that's really what I was looking for. The reality was that had nothing to do with relating to people. The reality of that was that never touched anybody's heart. The reality of that was that, dreams and goals and passion and all these words that define the emotion of the human spirit were the things that I never understood how to do them, because I was never trained to do that. And as time went by, and looking at all the diamonds and all the speakers and being around the woods and the Foleys and everybody else in our upline, and understanding that, Foley did a few meetings for us, but they were never perfect. I never understood why that. He could do them perfect, Eventually, I never knew what football was. I watched football because my dad watched it. I knew what it was, but I never followed it. I didn't know who Foley was. I never understood what the Dolphins were. I didn't care about that. And eventually, when I started learning a little bit about the business and the way he behaved during a meeting, and then when I saw him being a commentary, which you cannot slip, you cannot do anything, you cannot miss a beat, and with total perfection. And I said, he has never done a meeting like that for me. Okay? Then it started to occur to me that he always was teaching to be relatable. You know what I mean? It wasn't that he didn't know how to speak. It wasn't that he didn't know how to behave in front of people. It wasn't that he didn't remember what it was to be around 80,000 people, or what was to be a door, or whatever it was. He knew that the ring and his prestige on a sport was not going to bring people's heart into the business. He understood that. He passionately became a student about that, and understood that if he could not relate to people, it was not going to work. It was not going to make anybody else feel that they could do that. And eventually I started studying the people who were doing the business. And I watched the Woods doing the water sample and doing tricky things and leaving, some stuff in their face. And we all got our patterns and our behavior that some walls need to go down. There are some things that need to get and be broken out of your heart that don't belong there, for the heart of the business to be able to grow. There are some things that I needed to get off, in my thought process. That, I lived in an island, was too little, people were here, didn't know the business was here before. All these little intricacies and fears or whatever. My wife is not supporting me, so now I cannot do this. All of these things. I don't speak English. The educational program is not in Spanish. I could give you a list of all the things that I could have used as an excuse at that moment. I can never be like Foley, or I can never be like Woods or any of these diamonds. I don't have as much money. I'm not as talented. I was born from a different people. I'm not from Chicago. Pick one. You can pick anything you want. And what really shocked me was when I went to the first convention, I saw so many people from so many walks of life. I said, I cannot believe this. This is impossible. I imagine that they didn't pay all these people to convince me. This is impossible. I started listening to the stories, and you know what moved me? It was not the techniques that have gotten Patsy and I to where we are right now. It wasn't the little tweakings that we needed to do in terms of how we were going to position ourselves in front of a board or in front of a presentation and look at people. It didn't matter how many classes we took, if we ever went to classes of Dale Carnegie or did anything of those. All those things help. But I only will tell you this. If you don't have the heart to help other people, you will never be able to do this business. If you cannot give and serve, okay, watch what I'm going to tell you. Hey, you can be just one little cell, but you're not going to be able to help people. And I needed to understand that my selfishness had to go. I didn't know how to serve others. I was always looking for people to serve me. You know, as soon as Foley flew down, I said, well, I found one. I got one. It's here. And, I thought that he was my employee. He was going to work for me, and he was my slave. And, he wanted to spend the money, and I was broke, and he could not take nothing away from me because I didn't have nothing to take. If he took anything, it was my debts. But I didn't understand how the business worked. I don't understand the value of what we're going to talk to you about. I didn't understand the value of what was the passion to have a dream to make it come true. We never understood what that was. We never comprehended that when people know what they want, they will find all the information, all the processes, and the ways to get it done. But when they don't know what they want, they can stay home and die. They don't do nothing. You cannot even force them to do something, even if they know how to do it. And, that's what all your upline have been a master doing. I mean, I don't know about you. Foley didn't show that many plans for me. But after the first ones that he showed, I just wanted to keep doing them. Actually, eventually I just thought, I don't want him doing plans for me. And he rolled his thing and he did his thing. I say, this guy, I think I can do them in Spanish. People will understand. You know what I mean? The audios were in, Southern. I mean, they were just, you don't understand what they were saying. You all, and you're here, and you're going over there, and you're just putting these tapes, and all these people speaking very fast, and you're thinking, what can happen? And there was a diverse of culture, of a lot of things. And he didn't know Spanish. So what was the contact? What was the contact? Of course that I knew a little English, and of course that he has never stopped of doing the business just because he doesn't speak a language. He easily, with a smile, finds somebody who can translate, but what translate has always been his heart. And it doesn't matter what happens, then I always stayed in Puerto Rico thinking, I cannot believe he believes that. He might be lying to me. Why is he telling me that I can do this? He doesn't know me. I'm an evil person. I'm a liar. I'm a sinner. You know what I mean? I don't deserve this. What is he seeing that I don't see? Why is he lying? Then I got crazy. Maybe he wants to take away from me something. I mean, all these crazy thoughts running around. But eventually, after you get to learn the business, then you start saying, you know what? When you go and show a plan, the most important thing that needs to happen, that when you leave, this was my lesson. They need to feel better about themselves. They need to feel that they can do it. And they need to feel that they want to be with you. That's the most important things that need to happen when you are sharing the opportunity. Forget if they understand the numbers or not the numbers, because if they don't want to be with you, it doesn't matter if they understand the numbers or not. They don't feel they can do it, and you did a perfect plan with all the numbers, they're never going to do anything. So I just want to share with you some of the possibilities of one of the most important concepts that my wife is an expert in. I mean, I enjoy her when we talked about this, and we go down nitty-gritty in some of the details, and and it sounds fluffy, and sometimes it sounds like a cliche. But when you go down emotionally on it, when you understand what triggers it, when you study other people's successes outside of the business and inside of the business, and you understand the value, the intangible value that is to have a reason to live and dreams, nothing would exist if somebody thought, if everybody thought that everything should be a negative situation, everything would be destroyed. Everything. But somebody always thought that something could be better. That's why we're here. That's why everything that we have around, that you and I have not created, that comforts us, is here. So I'm going to leave you with my beautiful white Pat.
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank all of your leadership. We are just so thankful to be here and to have the opportunity to share with you. And it is a new year. but it's not a new year for us. So I want you to stay focused. Our year started September. So it's been 4 months into our new year, and it's important to stay focused and to counsel and to talk to the wonderful leadership that you have here, to the people who are building this business, who you know have what you want to obtain. And if you have access to Tim Foley, I mean, even better if you can talk to him, because he has the experience also, and he wants the best for us. But stay focused on our fiscal year. Don't think that now it's a new year, now we're going to start. No, you're already 4 months in. And if nothing has happened, it's okay. Every day is a possibility to start. And we just want to share with you what we've done in 24 years that we've been in this business. And we did speak to a lot of you in homecoming, so you have heard our story, and maybe you've heard a CD, but obviously our story doesn't change. It's been 24 years since someone thought of us. John Schmidt, I will be forever grateful to that man. And I think it's so important to always have a grateful heart. If you don't have a grateful heart, I don't think you receive many blessings. But if you are grateful and thankful every single day, your life will be filled with blessings. And John may not be active, but whenever we talk about our team and our upline, he's always there. Because he was the one responsible for Tato and I to build this business. He believed in us. Even though he lived in Miami, we lived in Puerto Rico, he wasn't scared of saying, okay, what if they do want to build this business? What am I going to do? He invested, and he went maybe once or twice to Puerto Rico, but he knew that he had to connect us with Tim. That Tim was the one that was really going to be able to financially go to Puerto Rico, help us out. Plus, Tim was looking for a 9th leg. I'm so happy that he didn't decide to just stay at Diamond and just help 6 families. He was looking for EDC and helping 9 families, and he was looking for that 9th leg. And here we said, we're here in Puerto Rico, and we are his 9th leg. But he didn't stay there either. You know, he wanted to keep on helping, and he's helped over 21, 22. I don't even know what Founders Crown Ambassador is. But he helps people, and he continues to help people. He could be retired right now and just enjoy his grandchildren and do nothing, but he can't. It's not in him. He is passionate about this business today like he was 30-some years ago when he got in. And that's how we feel. It's part of our lives. We don't feel like, wow, when are we going to retire? You know, it's been 24 years. Isn't it at 25 years that you retired or whatnot? No. We don't see ourselves doing anything else other than this business because it's fun, it's exciting. You meet new people all the time. We have friends everywhere around the world. We can land anywhere, and we know that someone is going to be at the airport with flowers, with a drink, receiving us. And we know we're not going to get lost. We're not going to get hurt. We're going to have fun. We're going to enjoy. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the last trip we had, which was amazing, and it was a dream come true. But to get to that point, we had to do a few things. And I think the most important thing for me was, like I told you earlier, my personal growth. And maybe a lot of you have that struggle, that internal struggle that you know there needs to be a change, but you're not willing to make that decision quite yet. And I urge you to just say, you know, I'm not perfect, and I don't know it all. And it's important to listen to the people who have the experience. And I'm never going to stand on this stage and tell you what to do, ever, because we're not here as bosses. We're just here to share what we've learned and what we've done. And if it hadn't been for the system, if it had not been for Affinity, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be able to hang on to this microphone and speak to any of you. And to forget the microphone, you know, even just one-on-one. But that helped me grow. And it helped me understand that this business is about people. Obviously, it's about products. If you don't move product, you don't make volume, you don't make money. But who moves the volume? It's the people. You're creating communities of people every single day. The most important thing you need to do is make a friend. As soon as you make a friend and you create a relationship, you can offer the opportunity. It's a gift that was given to me 24 years ago. So every day for me, I find it's my responsibility to hand over this gift and let them decide whether or not they want to build this business. But I'm already feeling wonderful because I gave them that opportunity. If they take it or not, I'm not going to feel offended. Actually, I'm going to feel bad because I said something wrong to where they didn't see the big picture. So I work on that every single day because I want other people to build this business and to see the amazing possibilities that it has to offer. And believe me, our lives have changed. But was it easy at the beginning? No. We needed to make a commitment and decide, okay, we're going to build this business. We're going to focus for at least 24 months without looking the other way, without listening to people who aren't in the business, that don't understand the business. We were criticized by our family. You can't imagine how many times. Why? Because we had a seminar on a Sunday, and someone was having a baptism, someone was getting married, someone was having a quinceañero, something is always going on. Life happens. But if you don't make a decision to focus on your business, it's never going to happen. Because there's always going to be an excuse. There's always going to be, I can't go there. It's my daughter's graduation. I'll accept that one because that happened to us. We were in Hawaii. And I said, okay, it's my son's graduation. We have to leave early. So we had to leave a few days early. That's a priority in my life for my children. But when it's someone else's wedding, a cousin's wedding, a fifth cousin's wedding, we always look for an excuse not to do the things that we really need to do. But if you want the results, you need to make a commitment and say, for the next 24 months, I'm going to focus on building the business. I'm going to listen to my upline. I'm not going to question and say, and why do I have to do this? And why do I have to do that? Tim always told us exactly what we needed to do. And we never questioned why. We did ask questions as to how to get there, but we never questioned why, because we knew that he wanted the best for us. We were his ninth leg, believe me, that he wanted us to succeed. And the only way that you can succeed is helping someone else succeed. So it's important for you to make that commitment. Be an example for your people. Always do what's right, no matter where you are. Sometimes people think, I only have to be good in the business. And then they go home and they're mean and they're nasty, or they go to a restaurant and they treat people. No. Who are you? Who are you deep, deep down inside? Because the way you treat people in a restaurant, in a hotel, at the bank, at the grocery store, that determines who you are, your character, no matter where you are or who's watching you. So that, I learned it through the business, through the tapes or the CDs and the books. It's so important to read. And I know a lot of us don't have time. We don't like to do it. Pedro's funny. He hated to read. He hated it, but he knew it was important to put new information every single day. And he's so hyper. I mean, it was hard for him to take 20 minutes or 10 minutes. So we did a little library in our bathroom where he knew he couldn't move for maybe 10 minutes. So he had to read for 10 minutes. And that helped him. He created a habit, and now he can't live without reading. And every time we find a really neat book, it's fun. We've created something fun between the two of us. Every single morning, thanks to this business, we don't have to go to work. We get up at whatever time we want, 9, 10, whatever. We go downstairs, have breakfast, and then we have 2 little beach chairs right next to our pool. We have a waterfall. So we sit there with our books. Sometimes we read. Sometimes we take our computers and check online, Amway or GB's Link or whatever our business is internationally. And we take that time for us to talk about our business, to talk about what we're reading. And that has solidified our marriage. It's helped us learn from each other. It's fun time. We sit in the sun. We activate our vitamin D. We usually always have a tan, but we just got back from the snow. But it's fun. It's things that you can do to strengthen your relationship, to strengthen your business, your goals, your vision. Do it together. And it's so much fun. And if you can't do it, obviously, right now because you're working, take time out after work. Make sure you have dinner together as a family and talk about your goals and what you're planning on doing from here 5 months, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months. And know what you need to do, what each of you needs to bring to the table so that that'll happen. There's not a specific role for him or for her. It's whatever is comfortable for you. Tim always told me, you don't ever have to do anything that you don't want to do, Patsy. But I knew what that meant, because I didn't want to do anything. If I didn't do anything, then I wasn't going to have the results. But he was not going to make me do anything or make me feel uncomfortable. I had to grow to get to that position. And I understood that. And I appreciate that, because Tim is never going to push you to do anything you don't want to do. But he will help you visualize what can happen if you do decide to do the things that are uncomfortable. So that's all I ask of you, is that you sit, that you look at what you want to accomplish, what the results you want to accomplish are, and go for it. Just focus for 24 months. Don't let anyone, our family, oh my gosh, Pedro's mother, she drove us crazy. You never do this and you never do that. But you know who's taking care of her now? We are. We bought her an apartment. She has everything that she needs thanks to this business. And our sisters and brothers, they criticized us all the time. But when they went to our home for the very first time, they went, oh my gosh, now we understand why you were never here and never there, and you were always focused on the business. Now we're the ones that have the time. And they still work, unfortunately, because they never decided to build the business with us. It's never too late. It's never too late, but they haven't done it up until this moment. Tonight, his brother's coming with the family, and he's going to spend a few days with us. So, we get to do things. It's fun, but you need to make a commitment and understand that it takes action, it takes courage, it takes sacrifice, but the end result is worth it. Always worth it. So don't worry about it. Don't sweat the small stuff. Just go out there and make it happen. And believe me, you will be on this stage being recognized as a new level this year. But just focus on what you want. And I just want to share a little bit of what we've been able to accomplish thanks to this opportunity. These are all fun trips that we've been able to go on. That up there was Las Vegas for the last Q12 that we had up there. One of the many, many beaches that we've been able to travel to. I don't know how many of you would love to go to Peter Island, but you can win that trip, and the corporation pays for absolutely everything. All expenses paid for a week. You leave on Sunday, you get back on Saturday, and you stay in this beautiful house. It's either the crow's nest, the eagle's nest, the falcon's nest. They're amazing. And there's a butler for you. They cook for you. Everything that you want. I know you've heard of the smoothies. The best smoothies in the world are on Peter Island, laying in a hammock, listening to the ocean. Any boat you want, they'll have it for you. If it's a speedboat, a fishing boat, kayaking, windsurfing, basketball, tennis, or nothing. That's me. Absolutely nothing. Just relaxing, sleeping, shopping, going to St. Thomas. They send sometimes one helicopter out and two back because of all the bags that we have. It's just so much fun. But you have to visualize it. Go online and go into, I think it's www.peterisland.com, and you'll be able to see all the different homes or the hotels or suites or whatever you want to call them. It's amazing. And how much it costs for someone who wants to go there privately. It's outrageous. It's one of the top resorts in the world. And the new spa is 10,000 square feet, and they do couple massages, or if you want to go on your own, they have the hot tub overlooking the ocean. There's this beautiful area where you can do, what is that called? Where you meditate and stretch and, Tai Chi. Oh, it's just absolutely amazing. And we want you to experience that, to live that. All you have to do is go diamond. That's all you have to do. Go diamond. And the first time you go diamond, you automatically go. Then you have to requalify with new legs, because the corporation's always looking for you to have a solid business. But they always reward the work. So it is worth it. Going skiing, going shopping in New York, being with the kids and seeing their father teach them how to surf in different beaches. Here he is with a friend in Brazil. He was surfing in Brazil. This is Steamboat from, oh my gosh, so many years ago. We've been going to Steamboat for 20 years. And our children learned how to ski when they were 3 years old. And this last week we were there, and Anthony's 20, Amanda's 19, and they were snowboarding, skiing with their father, going down the blacks. I was shopping, of course, or having my hot chocolate with my girlfriends, and we just had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. Our home, which is a blessing, absolutely, to own your own home and not worry about the bank calling you because you're late, your payment's late. We built it, and we paid for it, and it's there. All you have to do is pay the property taxes, and then it's not they'll take your property completely, but to be able to do that, to be able to sleep at night and know that everything's paid for, you don't owe anyone anything, no one can come knocking on the door and take your car away, or it's just not going to happen, but it's thanks to this opportunity. And you have the same opportunity that Pedro and I have had. The traveling. I don't know how many people here like to travel. It's amazing, the opportunities that you're going to have. Not too long ago, I don't know if I told you this, in Homecoming, Tato and I were talking about Australia. We were just talking about it, and we said, okay, it's out there. We sent it out in the universe, and we forgot about it. And 2 weeks later, we're at the board, one of the board meetings, and Bert Gulick comes up to me, and he goes, Patsy, I'd like to talk to you for a second. I said, sure, Bert, how can I help you? Because, you know, we really would like to have you and Pedro in to speak for us at our free enterprise. And I said, oh, wow, I'd love to. When is it? And he says, oh, it's in October. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, Homecoming. When in October? He goes, end of October. I said, oh, perfect. Homecoming's at the beginning of October. I said, where's it at? And he says, Sydney, Australia. And I said, oh, thank you, Lord. If you think it, if you speak it and confess it and believe it, it's going to happen. It will happen. And we had the most amazing time ever in Australia. We loved it. Everywhere we go, is this a place where we'd like to live or not? And as soon as we landed in Australia, they don't hug, they kiss. And I'm thinking, oh, this is a Latin market, because we always kiss. We're always kissing and hugging. But they're so Americanized. It's like being in the United States. The only thing is they have the different accent. And everything's the other way. Toilets don't flush this way. Toilets flush that way. The sky is different. I don't know if we were upside down. I know we were down under somewhere, but it was just amazing. And traveling 15 hours from L.A., not from Orlando, from L.A., direct flight, nonstop, all the way down to Sydney was an experience. It was an experience. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to do for 15 hours? What is he going to do for 15 hours? But he had his iPad or iPod, what is it called, with movies, and it was just so much fun. And then you get over there, and it's 15 hours earlier. So the other night, I went to bed at 12 in Colorado, and I think they were already celebrating the New Year in Australia, because I saw it on TV, and I'm like, this is weird. You know, it is so strange. And then having to calculate, when do I call my kids? When are they awake? When are they asleep? But it was fun. It was a great experience. We met wonderful people over there. We shared with Bert and Jackie Gulick and a bunch of their diamonds. And I'm thinking, if people knew what to expect, what's out there for them, they would do this in a heartbeat. If I could have a crystal ball, which I don't believe in that, but if I had one and I could show each and every one of you your lives, the way it's going to be if you decide to build this, you would do it just running out of here and meeting 10 people, and you'd sign them up tonight, and you'd talk to them about this, you'd take them on the cruise. You would do anything because your life is going to be amazing. And not just that, you're going to help thousands and thousands and thousands of people. We started on an island that's 100 miles by 40 miles. That's why Pedro said you can go around the island 4 times in 4 hours. And you can actually do that. And from there, our business jumped to Mexico, jumped to Argentina, jumped to Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire, Dominican Republic, Colombia, Venezuela, Brazil, Uruguay, Costa Rica. It's been everywhere. Have we personally done it? No. We've had people in our business who know someone, who knows someone, who knows someone. So get ready. It's going to happen. And I remember when we got in, I'd call my upline. we only have 10 people. We only have 20 people. They all fit in my living room. Don't worry about it. Eventually it's not going to be like that. And now we have offices in different countries and employees in different countries. So it's amazing. You even help people get a job. You help employ people in this business because you're going to grow so big that you're going to need some help. And that's exciting. I don't even know half of our employees. I don't even know half of our platinums. I think I know, we know all of our diamonds. We have 16 diamonds in our organization. Emeralds, I don't know, maybe half or more. But that's going to happen to all of you. Your business is going to grow if you decide to make it grow. It needs to start with you. You need to believe. You need to make a decision. You need to be willing to grow personally, spiritually, emotionally. You need to be a psychiatrist sometimes in this business and learn to listen, help guide people. I mean, you're not going to tell them what to do, but you can at least guide them and help them and refer them to different people. But you need to learn, and you need to be ready because it's going to be really, really, really big. And you're going to have so much fun. And I want to leave you with this video. This is just part of the things that we did in Steamboat. We went with Ivan and Carmen Morales with their 2 little kids and Carmen's mom. We went with Hugo and Pili Castellano. They're EDCs from Bogota, Colombia, with their 2 children. We went with Fernand and Rosie Fabregas from Gainesville. And who else was with us? Our 2 children. And after Steamboat, we went to our house and kept on partying, kept on eating. Oh, my goodness. I don't think we've ever eaten this much. Last night, we made a big pot of Rasta pasta and a big, huge pastelón. I don't know how to say that in English, of plantains and ground beef and cheese. And and I still have some at home. That's why I'm starting Monday. But anyway, here's the video. I hope you enjoy it. And visualize. I just want you to visualize when you go with your children, when you go with your best friends. It doesn't have to be Steamboat. It can be anywhere in the world. But just learn to be thankful. Learn to celebrate life. It's too short to be frustrated. It's too short to be in pain. So make a decision to be happy and to have a great attitude and to impact people's lives every single day. I love you, and I hope you enjoy the video.
Sorry for the memory. We'll put it later, see if it comes out. But we're gone. I imagine that after seeing that video, who's hungry? I am. We made feijoada. We made everything. I don't know about. I mean, if you go to any of these trips, you got to know how to cook. If not, you're not invited. I just want to tell you that up front. But if you show up, you got to cook something. I mean, it doesn't matter what happens. Everybody cooks something. And that last scene of when we were in the pizza place, Ivan is one of those guys that he watched the TV shows and all that stuff. And since he landed in a steamboat, there was a man whatever in that show. Versus food saw this pizza place, and he was every day for the last 10 days. We got to go to this place. We got to go to this place. We got to go to this place. So we ended up the last day going to this place, and my God, the pizza was absolutely spectacular. Now we got another restaurant in the world we got to visit every time we go, you know? That's what's happened. You just find these places, and like you do, I mean, you find your niches, and you just, you land in Bogota, Colombia, and you got a place to go. You know what I mean? You go to Steamboat Springs, you got a place to go. You go to Puerto Rico, and you got to go to one of these restaurants. And usually in the business, that's what you do. Late at night, you eat. Because that's you after a meeting or whatever, you're eating somewhere else, and that's basically that's what you have done. So after you go out of here today, obviously our job is to build a team, build something that can be for you. And as I'm going to just end up with this, as a recipe of food, if you don't do it right, you all know, as I do, it's not going to work. Right? You can take if you don't understand what you're cooking and how you're doing it and everything else, and sometimes you're up high in Steamboat and rice is not going to come out the same way as Puerto Rico because it's a lower ground, and you got to understand what you got to do and how much you got to adjust and how all these things got to be put together to be able to end up with what you're looking for. Same thing is going to happen with the business. you will have to understand what are the adjustments you got to do for your recipe for diamond. You will have to understand that there's going to be things that you will have to confront, and the recipe is the recipe, and you gotta figure out what do you have to do within that recipe that needs to be happening continually to be able to season everything else around and have. We were doing eventually one of those days we did a transmission from Steamboat Spring with online that we do, and we announced it, and we had a group of a bunch of countries connected to these things, and we introduced people. We did like a TV show. We had the computer. We went outside and we see people with the snow falling off, and the announcer was Pedro. He would say he was a commentary, welcome everybody else and whatever. And we were transmitting to I don't know how many countries. There were more than 500 computers plugged in, and you figure it out. It's like 4 people by every computer is in there. In the living room, they knew there was going to be a few EDC speaking, so we did a TV show. So when it got to my speech, I'm always trying to think to send the message. So I said, I'm skiing. I got to tell my story. I was talking to Rick earlier about it because I went to Steamboat the first time I went. I went with the Webbers, the Foley, the Pratts. We all went over there, and I was a surfer. So when I got to Steamboat Spring, I won a promotion. I'm up there, everything. It's snow all over the place. And, I'm looking at this snow half a day, and I'm not losing nothing. I'm like a little baby in a candy store. You cannot say no to me. Foley was saying, just relax. No relaxing. No relaxing. No. I'm going up to the mountain now. You know what I mean? What time it gets dark? 4 o'clock. Okay. What time is it? 2 o'clock. I'm going up now. I'm not going to wait. I'm going now. So, I pick all my stuff, and in Puerto Rico, when you ask for somebody to lend you, skiing things, is water skiing. They don't have snow skiing. There's no snow in Puerto Rico. If you ask, maybe less than 1% of the population have anything. So when I showed up, Foley looks at me and said, go ahead and get dressed. So I got dressed with what I had. So I had I was a mutant. That's all I can say. I had different color things. The goggles were not really for the, what was going on around with the snow. I had a hat that, hardly matched with anything. Yeah, the only thing that worked were the boots, the skis, and anything, and everything, in my poles. So we walked this mountain, and Foley wanted to just watch, saying, just take it easy. Just take it easy. So I just get on my skis, and I'm a surfer. So I started surfing down the mountain. I started going down the mountain, I didn't change. It just went straight. And he was screaming, be careful! Don't worry about it! Okay? And I woke up, stood up again. He was always watching just that I didn't break anything. But, I thought I was unbreakable. I was like a little, I just have fun rolling around. I learned I like to have accidents in skiing. It's just fun to me. I just fall and I make it worse. I go down there, I just roll down, no problem. So here we are, finish all this stuff, and so I started reminiscing this story, and this is how I want to end up what I'm going to tell you. So we can go out back to eat. If you want, I'll put the video again so you can go leave hungrier, okay? But this is what happened. In this meeting, I told these people, okay, that when I went over to Colorado for the first time, my ignorance, I thought that I didn't understand what the weather was. I didn't understand what real cold was. I didn't understand what snow was because it was the first time in my life I saw snow. I didn't understand what was to be 10 below zero or 15 above, or I didn't understand, the dryness of it. I didn't understand how the cold weather could affect you. I didn't get any of that. So when I got there, most of my clothes were tropical clothing. Okay? Most of my clothes were shorts, were, long pants. I had an idea because they told me, but I never knew. Because I didn't know. It wasn't that I just did it on purpose. I just didn't know. I asked some of my friends, I said, do you have some clothes for skiing that you can lend me? And that's all I took. But that equipment was not even usable. I could have just left it at home in the same way and not even taken it. And just bought everything when I got there. And when I was explaining to them that day it was around 5 degrees or around 10 that we went out to skiing, even a Puerto Rican, you told them that, they would die because when it hit 75 in Puerto Rico, we all get frozen. They use jackets in Puerto Rico at 75, okay? You ask any Puerto Rican here, When it hits 75 in Puerto Rico, you see them with sweaters. Okay? It is cold. So here I am in my first trip, and it is cold. After I hit that mountain, I got cold. My pants got cold, water all over the place. I was starting to act as a Puerto Rican, right? I started, this is cold. My hands got cold, everything got cold. Fully started cracking up laughing, and I went in. So I'm telling, on this seminar, we were talking to all the people, we were just saying our stuff, and I just was explaining to them that if I walked outside in shorts as I dress in Puerto Rico, I would freeze my behind. I mean, it was unnecessary. I didn't have the equipment. I didn't have the right equipment for the right venture. So I put my goggles, I put my stuff, I put my mask. I said, now, this is how I have to go out there. And when I go out at night and it's below zero, I have to put a few shirts and stuff and run from the car and back and everything else. If I stay out too long, it's going to be crazy. I even was telling them that I went to do my best run that I do. I do the last run from the one day. I don't know, it's about 2 miles down. You go down, and you go all the way straight without non-stopping, and you go a few blocks and whatever, and you get down to the bottom. That's after I learned. Patsy looks at me the other day and says, the storm is hitting. And I look at Ivan Morales, one of our RDCs. I said, do you want to do it? And he says, you better believe this is my first storm, skiing. I got to do it. And I look at her and say, I'm leaving. I'll see you later. Just hold a seat. The band was going to get ready. So we went for the last run. And, hey, I had the wrong equipment. By the middle of the first run, my hands were frozen. They were frozen. Now, my problem was I could keep going down. I had to wait for somebody to ski less than I did. I could not leave him alone. I was waiting for him, and I was saying, oh, Lord, I'm going to die. My hands are, come on, Ivan, you can do it. Boom. Come on, Ivan, you can do it. Boom. Come on, Ivan, why did I ever take Ivan? You know what I mean? Suddenly, we got to the bottom, and we get to a catway, and we're getting to the last run, which is called See Me, and he had already went down a few times, but now there's a lot of wind hitting to this thing. You cannot see nothing. You hardly can see 50 feet from you, and we're hitting down, and I look at him, and I said, you are on God's hand and on your own. I'll see you down there. Boom! I got down, took everything off when I got there. Patsy looks at me. She only had to look at me because I was in pain. My hands were frozen. She says, the only thing that his wife and her asked me is, where's Ivan? Why don't you ask me if my hands hurt, if I frostbite or something like that? You know what I mean? Who cares where Ivan is? I don't know. And she looks at me and says, you're responsible for Ivan. You left Ivan. And outside you could see like this. A storm that the snow was going like this. You could look outside. It was all dark and everything else. It was getting, dark by the minute. And here comes Ivan. Let's go up again. Right? Now, for the reason I told you the story is because of this. You know what I mean? When we're not equipped with the right things, when we don't have the right equipment, you know what I mean? If you don't have the right tools, if you're not prepared emotionally to create a team and to do the right things, you will not be able to. You will be hurting as I was. Things are not going to happen the way you want them to happen. You will be in a storm and it will blow you away. You will be in a negative storm and it will hurt you worse. If you're not protected against the weather or what? You know what people are going to tell you. This doesn't work. It's not for you. Is it, you're never going to get anything. You're not made to be a diamond or an emerald, whatever you want to do, whatever the goal you want. At least, my suggestion to you is move at least one notch up. That's all. Don't think big. Big to me, you know what big to me was? Big to me is enough energy that can move you. That's big. To me was $100. That's all. That's why I got in. Some people look at me and say, Tato, you're kidding me. You're a liar. Listen, when I saw this, I just wanted to make $100 not to fight with that lady anymore. That's all what I wanted to do. I wanted $100 to spend it on me because sometimes I went and played. I was a drummer, and I paid at the bar that I played because I drank everything. And I ended up with a bill instead of them paying me. Okay? That was my life. She was very angry, and I thought that I was going to retire through music business. That's what I thought, not through computer. And when this thing showed up, I looked at it and I said, yeah, right, confusion. I don't think this can do anything, so, I might be able to get $100 out of these products. Why not? Let's try it. I did everything wrong for the first month. Okay? I gave the plan wrong. I gave catalogs out. I told people, here's the literature. Check it out. And if you want to get in, just call me. Okay? I never followed up with anybody. And when I talked to Foley, he asked me, how's things going? I said, terrible. Nobody has gotten in. And they don't want to buy the products either. And he said, so what are you doing? I'm just walking to people, giving them the literature that, I got from Amway. I gave them the catalog, told them to check it out, and, they don't call me. He said, okay. So the whole arena in my life was going to and fro, from wanting this thing to work to what was the problem. Watch what the problem was. I was with lack of faith of this thing. And the deal for a lot of you, and here we go, because we're leaving, is this. Between wanting what you want and getting it, it is a big abyss of emotional struggle. There's a lot of things happening that you will have to deal with. There's a lot of things that you will have to equip yourself with to be able to go through to at least give a few steps to prove to yourself that the business works. There's a ton. I don't know how many Q12 went this to San Antonio. To where it was, to San Diego this past December. But they were a bunch. And it's good to. Can you imagine? Say this. I've been in conversation with some of my diamond friends, and sometimes with Foles and people saying, "Do we have to go to Diamond Club again?" That's a bored person, right? That's me. That's bored, right? Can we go somewhere else? We've been going to this thing for the last 15 years. Can we just go somewhere else? Right? But when you get there, it's always different because you are with a bunch of friends. You already know where everything is. You do know that you're going to go under the hole, where the cascade is, where the whole pool. If you go to the same hotel, you know where everybody's going to meet. We all know. Whoever gets first, we meet in such a place and such a time. That's how accurate and so many times we have been in this thing. That we have been now bored that, Peter Island again? Yuck. Paid for? Please, let us pay at least once. Let us at least feel the pain of paying one trip. Devos Fernando, please, stop it. We don't like you paying everything. To end, we are waiting for you in the mountains of the world. You better bring your best recipe because you're going to cook for us. Actually, the secret thought is this. We're doing a reality TV for Travel Channel. And, we're doing all these little things because we're going to send it to the human whatever guy. What is it? The man versus what? We're going to go to the Feud Channel and we're going to show them the video and say, I got a good show for you, baby. Wholesale. All right? Because the secret part is this. Amway really doesn't work. Just don't do it. Just don't go and show the plan. Leave it all to us. We'll stay with Orlando. If you don't want it, it's okay. All right? Think about this. That was what I was thinking when I started. I thought this didn't work. And I was so stubborn that I wanted to prove that Foley was lying to me. I wanted to prove that the audios were lying to me. And every time I heard an audio and I got a counsel, I did it. And for my bad luck, this thing worked. That was my bad. I never did it with the intention of working. I did it with the intention of finding out that they were, pulling my leg. That's it. That's right. Pulling my leg. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if it's the arm, the leg, the chin. I say so many crazy things I never ever forget. But the thing is that eventually, run from this seminar. Okay. Have a long-term future for you, but just focus on the now. Run from this seminar to the next one and bring one more person. Go one more notch. If you were 0%, go 3. And just go like, it's like losing weight. Just lose one pound. Don't try to lose the 20 you got. Just lose 1 pound. And that's not going to happen 24 hours. I know that the holidays I got like 10 I got to get rid of. It's going to take me a few weeks. Or, no, it's going to take me more than that. But you understand what I mean? It is part of the process. At least for the next seminar, whatever level you are, just go the next one. Just do that to yourself. When you get here, you're going to go like, and I got one more leg in here. And when you start adding every month, by the end of the year, you will be very surprised about the multiplication factor. Because then it's not you only. It's everything else that's going to happen. And you're going to enjoy your life, and you're going to be part of the Diamond team. God bless you. See you later.